So, yeah, this is not something that is ideal. This is not something that anybody should have to want to talk about. Um, this is not something that anyone should ever have to deal with if you're Caitlin Clark, and this is not something that anyone should have to go through. And obviously, the entire like stalker situation was a crazy one, and like Caitlin Clark's not the first, she's not the only, and she's not the like well, she's not the only player, and she's not going to be the last either player or person to have to deal with this. And the WNBA did nada to stop this, to be honest. Um, the WNBA did nothing to stop it. It was all Pacer sports and entertainment. And there was a lot of weird. I remember there was a lot of really weird things in the WNBA media. When they were like, some of like the bad actors in WNBA media were as good as saying that Caitlin Clark should. The people that demand Caitlin Clark speak on everything. They demanded Caitlin Clark speak on this topic here, and I'm like, this is crazy. Like, this was an absolutely crazy one to try to demand that Caitlin Clark should speak out on, getting stalked. Getting stalked. And, like, we're obviously not going into crazy detail on this. And, like, the WNBA, the fact is, again, it was all Pacer Sports Entertainment. And it was not dealt with at all by the WNBPA, anything. Like, Caitlin Clark had to take matters into her own hand for it. Like, it was one of those things where, like, the WNBA, basically Caitlin had to go and do it all herself. She's getting stalked. And the thing is, like, Caitlin Clark absolutely has the ability to do that. Whereas there's going to be other players in the league that are stalked that don't have the means. And the WNBA clearly picks and chooses, and the same with the WNBPA. They pick and choose who they care about as just human beings, and the league or the PA and the league don't care about her specifically as a human being. And like, this was the one situation where you're like, it's been bad. But it says here, he's been sentenced to prison where he belongs. Where he belongs. Resolution ensures the defendant is held accountable for his threatening actions, the fear he instilled, and disruption he caused. He will now spend the next 2.5 years in the Department of Correction. The victim will be able to have peace of mind while focusing on what matters to her. Like, I don't know if that's enough. Lewis, who prophesied during Monday's courtroom proceedings that the end of the world is coming, also was recommended to get mental health treatment. You can't help yourself until you get help. But he was tweeting crazy stuff. Like, again, been driving around your house 3 times a day. Like, just crazy things. Crazy things that he was saying. And look, at the end of the day, he was caught. And just like they caught the guy for Paige. And the guy with Paige says he was given a 1-year suspended sentence and 3 years probation. Like, it was, like, it's not, like, they didn't help. Thankfully, this guy's in jail, just like the Paige stalker should have been in jail. The Paige stalker absolutely should have been in jail. It is one of those things that the WNBA very clearly needed to very clearly need to make sure that their players, there is something when it comes to the players. There is something when it comes to these players that they've got, like, they have some protections. And like, they're all talking about paying players, doing all these things. Like, there has to be something there where if these issues are happening, you can report. You can report it, the league can investigate, and the league can see what they would do. Like, would WNBA players probably abuse that? I don't know. Players probably would. Like, players would probably report people sharing the in-game footage of Cat Copper yesterday as threatening behavior, and we've seen the WNBA investigated thing. What was it for threatening behavior? Investigated like the Fever for threatening or for racist stuff near in the vicinity of the court when nothing happened. So that's the WNBA care more about. They care more about yodeling noises that go viral on Twitter than they do about the safety of their own players. And I'm glad that, unlike the Paige situation, this guy doesn't get to walk free. I am genuinely glad this guy does not get to walk free. I'm glad that he's multiple years in jail, and for people being like, oh, there's something wrong mentally. Hell yeah. There's probably something wrong mentally with a lot of people that end up committing some of the most serious crimes. And the WNBA, the fact that, again, it went through Pacer Sports and Entertainment, and I think Caitlin Clark would have had her own people making sure to keep her, as much as anything, away from everything, away from it all, and being able to just think for herself. Well, sorry, not think for herself, to be able to stay focused on basketball and not have to worry about him. But at the end of the day, it's one of those things where I'm just so glad the guy's off the streets. I'm so glad. I think that's the main thing. That's the main thing. Whether it be for 2 years, should it have been for longer? Probably. And you just have to hope it's not going to happen again. And I think one of the most unfortunate things is that this situation is going to happen again and again and again. And I think when it comes to this league, they need to start taking this seriously, because 2 of your young players in the last year, 2 of your biggest young players, arguably your 2 biggest young players in terms of getting people to show up and watch, have had to deal with this in the last year. And it is an unfortunate thing that there are a lot of absolutely unhinged people in the world. And dear WNBA media person who said it would be powerful if Caitlin Clark spoke up about it, fuck you. But at the end of the day, this is something that they're going to have to deal with, and we can't just sit there, do nothing, and put our fingers in our ears and pretend nothing happens, and just wait and pretend that it's all good until somebody gets Monica Seles. That is something that, unfortunately, you have to make sure as hell. You have to make sure as hell that everything's all good. Make sure when it comes to the safety of the players, that's the most important thing. At the end of the day, I don't mean this in a way that the players shouldn't be getting paid or anything. I mean, fuck the money, fuck all of this. Fuck all this penny pinching. Just on a human level, making sure the players are safe is the most important thing, and that's what the league, that should be a non-negotiable. That shouldn't be part of CBA negotiations. That should literally just be nothing to do with the CBA. The league just says, league just go to the teams and be like, look, we are hiring. How many people would it take? Maybe not to, because I don't think you can possibly monitor everything, but just to take in reports from players and try to get on top of things. How many employees would that take? Maybe 300-400K worth of employees over all the league that are just able to send on things to law enforcement and be able to work with them. It's not the hardest thing to do. It's not the most expensive thing to do. And it's something that the Indiana Fever desperately need. But, not the Fever, the WNBA desperately need, because the Indiana Fever did a good job of making sure that this guy was caught. They worked with law enforcement, and this guy's now in jail where he belongs, to be honest. And I just hope that something like this doesn't happen to any player, because we can all talk, social media is social media. We're all everyone's a fan of a player, everyone's a fan of a team and everything. But at the end of the day, it doesn't matter who you're a fan of. And that's one of the weirdest things I saw with this situation was Caitlin Clark. A lot of Caitlin Clark haters were actually anti-Caitlin Clark in the getting stalked situation. And in the media, again, trying to make it seem like, trying to make Caitlin Clark speak out about everything. They were like making Caitlin Clark speak out about this. And I'm like, you actually are trying to make a victim speak out publicly about something. About forever, whoever those people are, fuck you. I hope they're not. I couldn't care less if they're watching this or not. But anyway, yeah, that is pretty much it, lads. I will see you guys